You never heard of the we finally got a piece of the pie. What's going on, y'all? Ground Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And amid the Joe Rogan controversy, there have been more clips that have resurfaced. And this time it's your boy Howard Stern. I guess they're saying, yeah, if you're gonna cancel Joe Rogan, you should cancel Howard Stern. And yeah, I never really looked into Howard Stern, nothing like that. Like I was a kid when his show was coming on, and I think he was past his prime at the point where I was seeing a show. Like it'd be like all the shows come on all day. You watch a couple good shows at night, and then like if you stayed up late, Howard Stern would come on. That mean like it's time to go to bed. This is lame as hell. But yeah, that's all I really know about Howard Stern. He had like a late night show, and I never watched it.
Okay.
Yeah. But this video right here is Howard Stern in blackface. Let's see, is it actually bad, or is it you know, is it like, man, these folks just trying to find anything, man, and you know, I guess they're just trying to, I don't know if they're trying to bring him down because they dislike him or he said something wrong. I don't know why they're coming at him, but I guess they're just exposing everybody right now. 2022 exposing 2022. But let's go and get to it and see what the hell's going on.
Judges couldn't be with us in the studio tonight. They're celebrating the new year from a secret location. Here they are, Hollywood's oddest couple, Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg, via satellite transmission.
How are you doing, Missy Robin Williams? You know, Robin, Whoopi is a whole lot prettier after you drunk a couple of bottles of this here more liquor. Drink on, honey. With every sip you get better and better, baby. Your snot smell like a kingfish. I didn't like that.
Ted, I must say that I can't believe you're still in blackface after the Friars Roast controversy.
Oh, hush up. I hate blackface. I just can't get this shit off. Besides, Whoopi done wrote everything I'm going to say here tonight, so it's all right. Ain't that right, you smell? I didn't write that. Well, you is a smelly.
What are your thoughts so far?
I don't find it funny.
You don't find it funny?
Wait, this is from 1994?
Yeah, it's from 1994. So they dug up in the crates on him, man.
Okay, but I felt like so society probably had a different standard back then. Because, you know, like...
the standards were definitely different. You could get away with a lot more back then and say a lot more and people wouldn't be as hurt.
And to be honest, I feel like since we're not like a separate individual just living in the bubble or the vacuum.
Right.
So it's like we kind of adjust our behavior based on the social norms, the social standards.
Yeah.
So I don't find it funny as of 2022, but I don't think it's something that we should be doing, digging up dirts that happened like 30 years ago.
I don't think it was funny at any point in time, to be honest. I don't think it was, yeah. This is one of those situations where I don't think the joke was funny at any point in time. Now, I don't know if he's trying to copy off of another white guy who got caught down bad doing blackface and was saying some crazy stuff, and that's why he's doing it. But I just still don't think it's funny. Like, if you see that white guy got caught down bad for doing it, I don't think you should come back and try to make it funny by doing a skit. And I don't think that this lame, this George Jefferson dude is cooning and allowing it to go down on the side. Like, and I think that that's also Howard Stern's way of being like, well, you're a black dude, he okayed it for me, so I could do it. It's not really. And then they're making fun of another person who's real. Like, so they're making fun of Whoopi Goldberg, which is like, Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know if she's like really well liked by anybody, but yeah, like you're making fun of her and calling her a smelly N-word and all this kind of stuff, and like, that's not really cool.
I don't know what the standard was back in 1994, but again, it's like, yes, according to 2022 standard, this is not good. This is not cool. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what was the context back then. You know?
Yeah, but was it ever good though? Like, just because it's not good now, was it ever really good?
No, just think about things. Were there things that as a kid growing up, like when you were like as a kid, it was okay for you to say and do, but now because society evolved, it's not okay to say it anymore.
Definitely, like calling people F's was normal. It was normal every day. But now it's like you said, and they want to take it down and put you in the gas chamber.
Right. So I think it's like the people are becoming more like cultured, and also they're just like more, I don't know, more compassionate and sympathetic.
I don't know, but this is different. This was never funny. this is different from like calling somebody an F.
Because if you
saying,
think
you
about
gay.
American history, right?
Yeah.
When did slavery ended?
1865.
But when did it actually end?
I guess if you want to be technical, folks just really started getting rights in like the 1960s.
Okay, 1960. So this is like 30 years after that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like people know. It's more like you know this is the right thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it's like you hear your parents, your grandparents, your school teacher, your friends saying that, doing that all the time. So you kind of feel like it's not that bad. So people don't really like. I feel like
So that's what you're saying. Howard Stern was doing. He was like, man, my grandma used to be like, man, it work, so I can do it.
And also, it's like when you were watching TV as a kid, there will be like, I guess, the black and white TV. There will be white people painting their face black to act like black people on the show.
That doesn't
right?
mean it's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Yeah, I understand
but
what you're saying, but that doesn't mean it's okay. Like it's you shouldn't do that. It was never funny. And when they were doing it then, it was as a way of putting us down. It was never funny. Like, and I think that calling somebody an F versus calling somebody an N and calling somebody an ape and pretend like you're a black dude because you smoke and you do all this, I think that's way different.
But to be honest, comparing to getting mad at that white guy, I would be more mad at the black. That's a black guy right next to him, and then this black girl host, because it's like
they're okay.
Why aren't you doing anything?
Yeah, why aren't you doing anything? Yeah, and then on top of that,
because it's like if you just like like Myron always let people say the N word, right? It's like if you're okaying it, that makes a person feel like, oh, it's nothing. It's not a big deal to the black.
Yeah, so everybody in this whole sketch really gets an L, to be honest. Do we want to continue?
Is there anything else?
We can see what else they say, but just for entertainment purposes, I guess. Let's go.
I got some more jokes for your New Year's Eve party there.
You're not tired of this.
And don't be racially offended, cause Whoopi done wrote them for me, okay? Here
Go
we
ahead.
Black hole.
Black hole.
Who love this? Tell her that. What do I love most about the Whoopi? Just great timing. Hey, Robin, what does you call a black rocket scientist?
I don't know.
Whoopi wrote it. Hey, did you happen to notice this?
No, what
this
is
here's my mother, Mama Dancing. She done working blackface too.
She must be very proud.
Yeah. No, I know you.
No.
It's not funny at all.
I'm not getting the jokes.
Yeah, he's like, it's just like he's trying to use the stereotypes that he thinks black people do, like the way he's talking, the things that he's saying he's doing, like drinking on 40 ounces of liquor and all this kind of stuff. And it's not.
It might be funny back in the day, because I just feel like a lot of things that were like funny and okay back in the day, it's not the case anymore now. So, and honestly, the black guy that's next to him, he was like, I don't know, he seems like a joke to me.
He is a joke.
It's like, you are obviously faking that laugh.
Yeah.
You probably think it was inappropriate, or like you didn't even want to be there, or whatever it was. Like, you obviously looked uncomfortable being there. So
and the
why
bad thing is that guy's like he's like a kind of famous black guy in the community. Like you heard of the Jeffersons? You never heard of the we finally got a piece of the pie. Yeah, it's like he had that show, and then but it's like, I don't know. It is odd that it's really odd. I don't know if he's supposed to be a Cooney guy or not, but it's odd that he would be on there thinking that was funny. I don't think it's funny.
And I feel like that. If I think back, there's definitely instances where it's like an Asian person on the show too.
Yeah.
And they were making fun of the Asian community.
Yeah.
And they were just like laughing with them. It definitely happened.
Yeah.
And I feel like that also shows how in the past, a lot of these, like, are we still considered minorities?
Yeah.
Yeah, minorities. So it's like a lot of these minorities, minority races, we're just trying to get along with it.
But if something was never really funny in the first place, I mean, is it really being a social justice warrior to come back and be like, man, you should have never said that, bro. You shouldn't even never been any success because of that. If somebody was talking about, I like raping on kids, and then it's funny when them folks get raped and stuff. Like, was that ever really, was that ever really something that we should be accepting? Like, should that person really get a pass, just like this right here?
No, I think it's different though.
Think it's different?
Because raping a kid is never okay.
Never okay.
You trace back all those thousands of years,
Yeah.
it's never okay.
Yeah.
But American history definitely had flaws because at a certain period of time, slavery was like an okay thing,
Yeah.
right?
But it's been too long for that to still be an okay thing.
I just feel like history takes time to get like turned over.
How long is it gonna take?
Well, obviously 2020 is the year to
2022 is the year.
2022 is the
Oh,
year.
we'll see. I
I
guess
feel
we'll
like
see.
it started 2020. People became
They came a
more
little more
outspoken
Yeah.
about.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's interesting, man. Speaking of Whoopi Goldberg, so they're making fun of her in the sketch. You know what that is? Okay. Yeah, she the only show I've seen her in is Karina and I think a little bit of Color Purple. But she's an actor and she's on this show called The View. And basically what she said is, so she's kind of been canceled for a couple weeks. What she said is, as far as the Holocaust goes, it was white on white. It wasn't a racial thing.
That is so silly.
It's silly.
That is so silly.
Okay.
The world is not just like sectioned by race, because you can be like multiple races living in the same country, right? Or you can be a country with just the same race, but then people still belong to different like ethnic groups and stuff like that. It's just like that sounds really silly. And it's like, think about the whole like European countries, right? Like traditionally, historically, they're all white, right? But there's still like wars going on. So are you saying, oh, we don't give a crap about that because there's like white people killing each other?
No, that's not what she said. She didn't say it like she said that it wasn't a race thing. It was humans being garbage. So she was addressing that it was a garbage time, but she was saying that it wasn't race. It was just humans being garbage humans, being inhuman, being sorry people.
Okay, that's actually one of my questions. How did they identify who's like Jewish and who's not?
That's a great question. What does Taylor look like to you?
He looks like a regular white guy. I still can't tell who's Jewish, who's not. I know like the stereotype.
And that's what it is. That's what she was saying. She couldn't
tell.
No,
that's because because I didn't really look into it, so I'm ignorant on this topic, right? But I feel like for you to make a public statement, you gotta look into the ins and outs. You can't just be like out there saying all this stuff, because I know, like, for example, a stereotype is like Jewish people have bigger nose, right? And they're better.
I don't know. I just
they're
know
good business. They're good businessmen.
Yeah.
And they're good at math. But I feel like
I don't know all that.
But I feel like there's definitely a way for them to identify if you're Jewish or not, in order for them to wanting to wipe out the whole entire.
Back then, it was like blonde hair and blue eyes. If you looked a certain way, like they would be like, "Oh, you ain't one of us. You ain't Aryan." So that's how I think how they did it. But Hitler had brown hair and stuff. So I don't know how they actually did it. I think they like did some measuring and some weird stuff like that. It was really really inhumane time, definitely. But
just like, for example, like, okay, can we talk about Chinese history?
Sure.
Like, there was a time when Japanese invaded China, right?
Yeah.
And they had this Nanjing massacre.
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh, it's just Asian people killing Asian people. We don't give a crap. Yeah. But like, to us, that's part of our country's history. Yeah. Like, just because you're ignorant, you don't give a shit about it, does not mean you can just be like, oh, we don't have to know about it. We're like, it's just Asian people killing Asian people, white people killing white people. Then what about all these African like slave trades? You know, people can come in and be like, oh, it's just African tribe leaders betraying other African people, like, you know, and then somehow white people got mixed in. It's just like a black betraying black business. Okay. That's not how the world works.
That makes it a little bit more understandable. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. And I was gonna go back and say that she didn't know because I've always myself thought that it was just a bunch of different white people that just were different religions.
Did you learn about it in history?
Yeah. But I just thought it was just like, oh, so they just mad because they followed a religion or they just didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes? I thought that was really weird. But, I never really knew. But like you said, if you're going to make a public statement like that and think that you're right, you need to be knowing all the facts. You can't be an idiot out here. That was an idiot move on her. She wasn't tactful. Just like Joe Rogan wasn't tactful.
Right. And it's like, she's a black person, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, she understands what kind of like long-lasting impact and trauma the whole like black history had on black American people. Then she should be able to relate what kind of like long-lasting traumatic experience it had on Jewish people.
Okay. All right, and then so now I want to ask you about the punishments. So she got 2 weeks suspended, lost money. Joe Rogan, nothing. What do you think?
But when did she make that statement?
Around the same time that Joe Rogan got caught down bad.
No, but Joe Rogan's like story, was it like recent? Like when he was making the Plan of Aid statements.
That's old.
So I felt like
He said 10, 12 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you justify the amounts of punishment?
Because I feel like did she apologize?
Yeah.
When did she apologize?
I don't have a clue.
I mean, because it's 2022. If you're making a statement on this date and age, it will be treated differently than like if you're making a statement like back in 1992.
Yeah, but you still made the statement and it got caught. It got caught out in the cameras. So I mean, so should the.
But like, if you were
same?
making a statement today, it means that's as of today. That's what you were thinking. You have been thinking. If you made a statement back in the days, right? It can be because you were like ignorant back then, right? It can be like you were just like having the different influence back then, and now you can be thinking completely different. Just think about it. Haven't you done anything like 10 years ago that you feel like, oh, I really don't agree with that behavior now? Like I will never do it again, right? And if people dig that up and be like, oh, Micah, you're a trashy person. You, of course, you're gonna apologize for what you did then, but you're gonna be like, I'm a different person now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're doing it right now and people are judging it right now, that's because you're still thinking and behaving that way right now. It's different.
All right. I guess it makes it a little bit more understandable. Yeah. You're right. But I don't know. You're right, but it's like there's still something, huh?
And honestly, like, internet
Yeah.
has a really short-term memory these days. So yeah, like 2 weeks. It's gonna be forgotten very soon.
You think so? Yeah, that's true. That's true because people have done some weird, really crazy stuff, and like it's like in 2 weeks, like nobody's talking about it at all.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And that's what the PR companies do too.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, this celebrity did something crazy, right? Oh, let's cover it up with another crazier story to save that person's ass.
You know why they said that they well basically I was talking to Rob and I was talking to Grover, the Tip Network, and they were they were talking about the reason why Joe Rogan's old skeletons came back to get him, and they were saying because Joe Rogan, when he's on his podcast, he talks a lot about the C19, and he talks about like alternative uses instead of going and getting the jab. He talks about you should take this ivermectin and this that and come back with the trekking and all that, and I guess that's why they don't like it because it's like he's kind of going against something that they may have going on in the background, so they feel like we got to figure out a way to get him. Yeah, so I don't know.
This is the world we live in.
Yeah, it's the world we live in. Interesting. Very interesting.
Think about all the apps we use on the phone, right? We'll be talking about something, and then 10 minutes later, we'll be seeing the ads on the phone.
We already talked about that. We already talked about people having a short-term
memory. This is about like there's definitely something listening to our conversation on a daily basis, right? And all those like FBI, CIA crap that's going on. You don't know who's listening to your phone calls. You don't know who's like monitoring your web calls. Like, come on, I feel like just be smart. Just be smart when you're making like public statements and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a free country, but still like don't be stupid. It ain't really that free.
Yeah.
Just don't be stupid.
Yeah, don't be stupid. Yeah, don't be stupid or you won't be free.
Don't think you're hiding behind the keyboard in an anonymous name and you are safe. Like, they can track you down.
They can track you down. That's bad. But that's I guess that's the end of the video. If you watched it to this point, thank you. Have a great day, and let us know what you think, man. Do you think that Howard Stern deserves to be canceled for his past transgressions? I don't know much about Howard Stern beyond that, and the fact that he had an old guy, lame talk show I didn't want to watch because I was a kid and I couldn't understand what was going on. Maybe he said some other things throughout that talk show that's got people like, man, I don't mess with Howard Stern anyway. Let us know about that. What do you think about what Whoopi Goldberg said? Are you leaning more towards her just being ignorant about it and it should be brushed under the rug? Do you think that she should have had her information together before she jumped on there and said that, or I don't know? What do you think that I just get her out of here, or what? Which side do you on that, man? Let us know down in the comments below. As usual, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.